Hi friends, Robert here for Diverse Opals. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Thank you to those of you for your support, for your encouragement and your comments. It's been good to get your feedback. Today, we're not really working with anything particularly special. It is a piece of boulder, and you might say, well, there's nothing spectacular about that, but you know, in the past we've talked about using diamond burrs like this. This is a sintered diamond burr, and then we've moved on to using rubberized abrasives, and then we've moved on to using diamond compounds. So today I want to talk to you about possibly another way of doing this quicker. Using this process is quite good when you have surfaces that are quite dippy, but in situations of like this where we've got a fairly flat surface, there might be a little bit of movement in the surface, but in this type of situation I want to talk to you about using a different type of tool altogether. You may have seen something like this before, maybe you haven't. We're going to utilize sandpaper. So what we have is a disc mandrel, and we have a piece of leather, and this is I would commonly term this as a piece of shoe leather. It's about that type of thickness, maybe a little bit thicker. And we have some silicon carbide paper. Okay, we're going to go through the process of drilling the hole, walk you through the process of the assembly of this. Drilling the hole in this is not terribly difficult, but you will need a diamond burr of some description, or any type of, you can actually use something else, but I'm in this particular case going to be using a diamond burr just to make the hole. And so what I've done is I've started out by taking the disc, I've marked it with a pencil as to approximately central. I want to mark this with the number of the grade so there's no confusion. And I'll do this front and back so it's quickly recognizable in the stages that I'll be working with. And we will just drill a hole in the approximately in the center. I'm just going to pick this up because I want to even the hole out, just push it in so you've got a hole approximately the diameter of your screw, and then we just set about assembling it. Take the screw, take your disc of paper, push that through, take your leather, it doesn't really matter which way it goes on, but push that through, and then take your screw and just wind it on by hand. Now, although there is a screw on the top of the head on this side, you can in fact do this up if you want with a screw, but doing this hand tight, finger tight like this is sufficient, because when it actually starts to run in the unit, if your unit is running the correct direction, it will in fact be doing itself up. If it's running the wrong direction, under pressure, this will actually undo. These are grades that I think will be suitable for my application. You may have different grades that you want to use, but the importance of this is to find yourself some very good paper. And this paper, Matador, I've been using it for over 25 years, and I would say it's probably one of the best papers I've ever used. And so I'd recommend you find yourself a good paper. If you choose not to use our brand or buy our brand, that's fine. But get yourself a good uniformly graded paper, because there's a lot of different type of paper out there. I am working dry, so I am using a mask. And the other thing is that when you're using this, just be careful. The paper itself can get a little bit sharp. I have made a couple of incisions here in my finger because I wasn't careful enough. So this is a 180 grit. The flexibility of the 180 is, or all of this sandpaper is actually very good. Gives us the opportunity to work across the surface quickly and to get fast results. And just by applying a little bit extra pressure, we can in fact take this away. Now, because I'm using leather, for those of you that like to work with water, leather may be a bit of a problem, so you may need to find a medium that is best for you if you're working underwater, so that it doesn't disintegrate or fall apart. So that's just a thought for those of you who are working with water. Okay, we finished with the 180, and I hope you can see that the results are quite good. The surface is now smooth all over, and now we're sort of going to go through the next stages. And although it's only a 180, I think the result is actually quite good. So the stages from here will get a little bit faster, and getting to the final result won't take very long now. So. So here we can see now we've finished with a 400. As I said, this process for the next grade wouldn't take very long. It's maybe not a lot of difference in the sense of brightness of the stone from the 180, but the surface is now a lot smoother. And we will now move on to the next grade, which will be a 600. You know, you may develop your own method. You may find that you can skip over some of these grades, but I like to get a really nice finish on my stone, and for the amount of time that's actually involved in putting that little bit of extra time in, can actually make a lot of difference in the way you finish your stone. So although I am using the 600 now, these stages are not very long now, and if you're doing a number of stones, you can fly through the stones very quickly. So as you can see, it's looking quite sheeny now, but just looking, if you can see what I'm seeing, it's looking like it's got a very nice luster on it already. So not very long, and as I said, I'm just going to change to the 1200 now. So this is the 1200. This hasn't taken very long at all, and there's our final stone off of 1200. You know, it looks like it's polished. And maybe for some people it is, but for me, getting a really nice luster on something is important. So the final thing that we're going to do is I'm going to use a 50,000 diamond paste. There's our 50,000 diamond paste. I'm using a felt, and this final phase of polishing won't take very long at all. Well, we're back from the workshop, and this is normally the stage in the program where I would actually be showing you the stone as a finished item, but we will get to that in a moment. What I wanted to show is a package that we've specially prepared for you, that if you are interested in trying to achieve the same type of results that we've been able to achieve, this is what you would need. Of course, if you're Opal that you're working on, it has a particularly rough surface, you're going to need to flatten that out, and I would suggest that that can be done with a plated burr, or it can be done with a sintered burr, or a grinding wheel. Depends on the size of the stone, of course. So just keep in mind that there will be scratches from that stage, and all of these items here will help you to take those scratches out and achieve the final result. So today we have for you a package of 10 items of 180, 10 discs of 180, 10 of 400, 10 of 600, 10 of 1200, 4 mandrels, 4 leathers, 2 felts, and 2 grams of 50,000 diamond paste. The idea of having 4 mandrels and 4 leathers is that you can just set it up so that you don't need to change. You just set it up at the start of your process. You'll put one of these with one of these and one of these, and same with these. One of these with one of these and one of these. And you just have them set up so you can go through the stages and achieve that result. So follow the links below the video and you will find this as a package item so you can make your purchase. We'll have a look at the stone now. Although this process has been, throughout this process, we've been working on an Opal. This has been more about a process than actual achieving a result on a stone. I mean, the result is very good, there's no doubt about that. But we wanted to show how you can achieve this result through using the items that we'd spoken to just a moment ago. So this stone has a beautiful finish now, and it has been achieved in a very short space of time. There is some lovely colour in it, there's no doubt about that. But as I said, this has been more so about a process, and we hope that you've enjoyed this process. Please leave a comment. We welcome your comments. If you have a question about the processes we've used or the items we've used, leave a comment, ask a question. We'll do our best to answer it. Thank you for watching. I'm Robert for Diverse Opals.